Hello, Virginia. And the real governor, Terry McAuliffe.
Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. I know the man is senile, but that was a dig if I've ever heard one. Biden and his cronies are busy trying to throw President Trump in prison for illegally reviewing his options in the aftermath of the stolen 2020 election, trying to disbar his lawyers for illegally advising their clients on the matter, and they're throwing J6ers behind bars for daring to protest it all. And now Biden is cracking jokes, but in a serious tone about Virginia's election somehow being stolen, I guess. You literally can't even joke about election integrity without CNN being down your throat in 2 seconds, calling you an election denier and wanting the FBI sicked on you. Shows that they know how fragile their fake mantra about 2020 being the most secure election in U.S. history really is. So the fact that Biden just told Glenn Youngkin that he's not the real governor of Virginia, but that his opponent Terry McAuliffe, the guy who lost uncontested, is evidence of how the regime uses power. It's not hypocrisy, it's power when they do one thing and lock you up for doing the same. In fact, not only did McAuliffe lose and not claim the election was stolen as far as I remember, because there's no evidence for that, but he was the guy who had supporters of his, like the Lincoln Project, do fake psyops to try and influence the outcome of the election against Youngkin. Remember when they paid people to wave tiki torches reminiscent of the Charlottesville rioters and then called up the media to cry about Youngkin being supported by white supremacists? That's awfully similar to how Biden cheated his way into office. So no wonder he still has so much affinity for the long-forgotten Terry McAuliffe, who hasn't been relevant nationally since he lost. So the problem with a runaway train like the Democrat Party, drunk on power, is that they will not stop until another equal and opposite force of power checks them. Checks and balances, remember? That's why the right needs to stop being all bark and no bite. I'm glad to see we as a party are moving forward with impeachment, but another important check we need to do is to support efforts by those wanting to kick Biden off the ballot, as they've tried to do to President Trump. We need to keep in mind the idea of MAD from the Cold War era. Mutually assured destruction. The left would hesitate a lot more if we gave them serious concern that anything they pulled on us would actually be used back on them. Joining us now to discuss is Terry Newsom, the president of the Illinois chapter of Parents Involved in Education and the co-host of the Behind Enemy Lines podcast. Terry, thanks for being here tonight.
Hey, great to see you again.
Great to see you as well. I think we haven't talked probably a year and a half, right, since AmFest, Turning Point
Yes.
USA's big shindig in December of 2022.
Yeah.
So you've been busy since then.
Yeah, I think I was like shell-shocked when I ran into you because I found out, I was a domestic terrorist and my family and, got a chance to speak to you. And I was still like, we just got off the plane. I was kind of freaked out. And I think that's one reason I'm passionate about this stuff and what they're trying to do with Donald Trump and claimed insurrection. Right? There is no insurrection. And to spend all this time, energy, and efforts to falsely claim that he, trying to keep him off the ballots for an insurrection that he never was charged with and let alone guilty of. So I'm very passionate about this.
Definitely, and that's why I'm so glad. So I remember when they were kicking Trump off the ballot or trying to, right in Colorado and also in Maine, but his name's still going to be on the ballot anyway. But legally, that's what they were moving forward with. I was so happy when I started to see some headlines that a group in Illinois wanted to kick Biden off the ballot, saying, well, if you want to do that to Trump, we're coming for Biden too. So do you guys really want to keep playing this game? And that, of course, is something that you are involved with. So can you explain for us that petition and the new updates or developments on it?
Sure, there's 2 petitions. There's 4 of us that's on a petition with myself. It's Peggy Hubbard, Shane Beauvais, who actually knows Trump. Trump helped pay for his father's medical bills, and Mr. Trump called him and told him good job on what we're doing. And then there's another gentleman named Tim Conrad. And then there's our petition is claiming that Joe Biden provided comfort and aid under the 14th Amendment, Section 3, the same one they're using against Trump for insurrection. Except the difference is Biden is really guilty of these things that we're mentioning. I mean, the whole world knows, right?